friends. Tonight I'm going to show you a couple of gift-giving ideas for Christmas. This one is with the Snowflake Splendor Designer Series paper. I feel like there are a lot of different ways that you could create this and change it into another design using any of the papers. So that's kind of what I'm focusing on tonight. This one, what I did was I used this pretty blue box. The way I made it was using a 2468 template. What you typically do is you decide how tall you want it to be, and then the bottom is 2 inches always if it's 2468. You can also change it to 135, like that, and you can, as long as you have the sides the same and the top and bottom the same, then you're fine for the bottom of the box because you can make it kind of overlap and stuff like that. Then I also made a lid for this just because I thought it would be kind of cuter to have a lid sometimes. And that all you do is add basically either, a 1/2 inch or a 1/4 inch or whatever. So you just add that to whatever the size the square on the bottom will be. So for a 2468 box, it's going to be 2 inches. So you just add a 1/2 inch to each side, and then you would make your lid 3 inches, or no, 2.5 inches wide and 2.5 inches tall, and then you'd score at a 1/4 inch so that there's a 1/2 inch on each side, a 1/4 inch on each side. That takes up the full half, if that makes sense. So you can see how I did this. I just tied this pretty twine around there. It has the Seaside Spray, the white, and the silver. And I used Seaside Spray snowflakes, white and silver snowflakes for the top. And then I used the Oh What Yum sentiment. That is actually the one from the Itty Bitty Christmas. I don't know if you remember that set. That's this set here. So the Itty Bitty Christmas set is great for little tiny gifty things like this. So I put Oh What Yum on here. We don't have an exact punch anymore for this small of a size. I used this one from the Warm Hugs bundle. And so it cuts out a little centerpiece. So I used it to cut out the Oh What Yum part. So that made it really nice. And then I just put some silver, it's obviously blue iridescent gems on here, just kind of in a triangle, just to kind of add a little more interest. So you can see there are probably lots of things you could put inside, like earrings or some kind of jewelry. But I put those little Lindor truffles that are caramel, and I just think they're delicious. So I thought that would be really cute to put in there. So there is one way that you can create that. But what I'm going to show you is one that turns the box into kind of a bottom bag. So what I'm going to show you is the way that I did this, which was really simple. I hope I can make it make sense. The piece of paper itself is, and some of you may already know this, I apologize if you don't. If you do, this is 8.5 inches wide, and then it is 6 inches the other way. So then when you go to score, you're just going to score the narrow side here, the less tall side, at 2. So what that does is create the bottom of your bag box. Then you score at 2, 4, 6, and 8. 8 gives you the little flap, that we like to have to put our adhesive on. So then, all you need to do, I go ahead and fold this just a little so that I can see what I'm doing. And then you just cut here along each of the little folds. And you want to stop, of course, right at that place where you've scored the 2 inches. And then on this bottom, the other piece, you want to just cut that completely off. So you're just right here. Let me see where I can see where my folds are. There we go. Okay, so I had that part done. So there's a point at which you're looking at it like this. So then I just want to use my tear and tape adhesive, and I want to put it on the little flap, like that. Okay. And then I just want to put adhesive on basically any three of the ones of these. And whichever one you put on that you don't put adhesive on, you're going to leave as the outside, if that makes sense. That's going to be your bottom piece. So it's just kind of up to you which one you think would be good to leave on the outside. Because what's going to happen is you're going to turn them up. You're going to squeeze. I thought I should show you this first. You're going to turn them in like that and then put this on the inside. And then this flap will go on the bottom, however that ends up. Okay. So here we are. And I like to put it on both sides just to make it nice and secure. I think the general thinking for the most part, not that it's going to make that much difference with something this small, because mostly what you put in there is not going to be that heavy. I think the thinking is that this one probably shouldn't be the last one, just because it's the one that's connected here, so just make it stronger in some way. So, okay. Then we're ready to start peeling off adhesive. There we are. And I'm going to wait to pull off that last one just till I have these set up on here. There's that. And then what have I done? That one needs to tuck in. That one will be on top. Right, okay. So go ahead and do this. Tuck this one in. You just want to line them up, make sure that they're nicely lined up before you really adhere them. And then this one will go on the bottom. We can go ahead and pull this off. Let's see here. My fingernail does not want to pull that one off. It is not feeling it. There. Just tuck that right in there. I noticed that they're playing on the radio the station with the 24-hour Christmas music. So I kind of noticed that and thought, well, now I'm starting to kind of have a little bit of Christmas spirit already, whether I'm supposed to or not. Okay, so then you just want to get this as tight as you can. And then I like to take something and go down the seam at the bottom and just kind of get it, make sure that it's adhered well in the corners and everything. Okay, so now that we have that, I would probably put my seam on the back, but you can just take this and just kind of give it a little fold and turn it into a little bag, if that makes sense. Okay, so like that. And then you're just going to want to put some kind of decoration on the front, obviously. You could tie it with ribbon. You could cut a little nick in the sides that make the ribbon stay nice on there. There are several different choices you can make. One suggestion that I have maybe is using this punch to cut little notches out of the ribbon. You know, if you can slide it in there, I don't know. But also you can cut a hole up here with a hole punch, just, you know, a regular one, and thread your ribbon through that. Or if you want to, you can always just fold them. I've seen, you know, several years now, I've seen them just fold them down. So just whatever makes it kind of simple. So anywho, that's kind of fun. Then I will put this ribbon on there. Let me see if I can get a hold of it. There we are. And this is the Real Red Organza. And I usually can't resist tying a bow. Always any piece of leftover that you have, like this one that's that about 2 inches, you could always use that as a decoration on the front. So be thinking about ways that you could not let things be trash, basically. So that I think that would be cute to just add a little contrast. Then, well, there we are. Scoot it down before I get started. You could also score this at the top And then you would have an easier time of turning it down as well. If you want to turn it down, that was probably a wise decision. I'll be able to find something later that I can use to kind of take a little nick out of the side. I think the first person I saw do this was Dawn Griffith. I can't be sure though. It's been so long now since I saw this the first time that it could have been anybody, but I think that was probably the first person I saw make these. So, actually, I think I probably learned it from Jessica, my previous upline. She's not with Stampin' Up anymore, but that's probably where I learned it. So then there you could put a few of those Lindor truffles in here or some other kind of little small treat. Then I was thinking that we might want to put one of these circles on there, but what's funny is I did not think to pre-stamp it, so I just have these cut little circle things. So that's kind of weird. So anyway, I have the warm hugs to you. Something about long. I cannot see. Let's see here. Get a die. We'll just both be surprised. And real red. Let's see if I can do this without messing up or messing up too terribly. Let's see what that did. I think it's a little off. Yep, I'll try one more time. And yes, I should be using my Stamparatus. That would make, a lot of sense, wouldn't it? But I didn't think to see what was on it, see if I could clean any of that off. Okay, so here's the warm hugs to you all season long. So I was thinking that would look cute on the front of here. So let's go ahead and start adhering some of this stuff together. I put this little strip of leftover here. Reuse it on the front, just kind of wherever you think would look good. Maybe like that. And then I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals across here. That is the good thing about this when you have some, oh, these are not, those are paper pumpkin ones. That's funny. It's like they look too thick. There we go, that would be why. That is the good thing about these, that there's so many ways that you can stick things together that you just don't even really have to worry that much. Probably need at least 3 of them. Hold it up nice and then just pull that off. There we are. So then I'm just going to look so I can see what I'm doing, kind of. Warm hugs to you all season long. There's a little dot on there that helps you, in my opinion, helps you to line it up straight. If you get that on the horizontal, then you should be able to get it lined up nice and straight. And then I'm just going to use just a regular plain old Stampin' Right marker to color my, not celery, listen to me, Pear Pizzazz. I'm living in the past, guys. For my tree, I stamped it in olive. And then what I like about this, the way that it looks kind of a mess, I think it kind of looks like a tree. I mean, like, you know, like it has kind of some texture to it. So, and if you don't like that, of course, blends are always your friend. So, bun. And I'm just going to do the trunk real quick. Okay, then a dimensional on the back of this. And it would also be really cute to just go ahead and cut this out. You know, we have the dies that cut this out in the shape of the little tree. That might have actually been cuter, but I just kind of wanted to, but oh yeah, I wanted to put 2, that's right. So that it would be a little higher than the circle. Okay, there we go. And then you can see how I did the little box and just made a little treat. And, you know, you could continue going on this, put on some embellishments and a little more things and, you know, just make it even cuter. So it just kind of depends on what you're going for. So there is that one. Fun. And then I'm going to show you a quick card to wrap up. I wanted to show you something. I had seen it on a demonstrator website or something, and then I lost where it actually came from. So anyway, I thought I would show you this and just let you see how easy it is to do something with paper like this. So what I've done, I've just started with a piece of thick Whisper White, you know, regular card front size, and I've added this snowflake embossing folder to the front. Then I just have 3 small strips that you could even consider scraps. They just need to be as long as the card. And so what I'm going to do is just stick them on the front, and then that will make like a little bit of grounding for the card. You could also, if you have another one, you could put it inside. That would be super cute because that would kind of tie it together. But what I liked about this is you could put anything on this card. You could use snowflakes as your focus, or you could use some little cute stamp sets that are like the little animal ones or something like that. Just anything that you have would be really cute with using just some strips of paper and then adding whatever you need for it, just a little bit of thing. You want to make sure it's better to err on the side of too long than too short, because that way you can always just trim it with your scissors, especially when they're nice and narrow like this. You don't have to worry about it. And then I'm just going to scoot this up just a tiny bit. One way to do it is to just put it right even with the other sheet of paper. But I was just thinking I could do it like this and then just show a little bit more or a little bit less of whichever one I wanted to. Does that make sense? And that just makes it easier. When you could cut separate strips, but it's a little hard to cut the tiny strips. So to me, this makes it easy to have it just the size that you want, and you've just done it by putting this top piece on. And I think it's kind of cute either way. So whatever you think though, if you want to cut the tiny strips, by all means, but I think this is nice for making the effort of tiny strips without actually doing the effort. Oops, I got that a little crooked. There we are. Let me look from the front though, because I probably have that all wonky and crazy, just a little. Let's see if I can still get this up. It's been a couple minutes, so I may not be able to. Nope, I can. Let's give it a little slight tug. There we go. I'm about happy with that. So then you just want to be sure on the outside here that you have it trimmed kind of evenly, like, just to kind of, with the card base. There we are. Then what I was suggesting earlier, I hope that made sense, is you could just put some snowflakes and just the sentiment then just right on top of that. And but I also would like to put a little penguin as a cute thing on there. I think that would be really sweet to put a little penguin just on the side there. So anyway, I hope this makes sense. The more you work on this, the more fun you're going to have. You could put some ribbon on part of it, or you could use the edge pieces to make a little notched edge with the dovetail, make it dovetailed, you know, just kind of cute stuff like that. So there's that, and I will go ahead and finish this up, and I'll put it on with the blog post so that you'll be able to see. So I don't know, I feel like I tire y'all out when I color, and you have to watch me color because I'm not sure that's very exciting. But anyway, I think this would be something you could use with whatever designer series paper you bought this year. Just makes it kind of cute and put together. Okay, this is the last thing. You guys remember these cute little holders that they'll hold the Bath & Body Works hand sanitizer holders or the Ghirardelli chocolate squares. So I think this will be really pretty in the poinsettia. So that's the way I cut it. It would be just as pretty this way. This is a great paper. I'm just going to go ahead and put the box together, and then we'll talk about different ways that you can embellish this little treat box. And this is the one that's, you know, if you have a big shot, this is super easy. So that's, you know, you don't have to do any scoring or 2, 4, 6, 8 boxing. You're just done with this. You just run it through the big shot. It takes maybe 5 seconds. I don't know. So it's super quick. And then you can see I tried to line it up so that it would have some pretty poinsettia kind of on the front side there somewhere. So I think that makes it kind of a little more elegant treat, like for your fancy friends. So this paper is so saffron, but it's also white. So you kind of just have to decide what you think is going to look good. You know, you could put a red poinsettia with the felt stuff on there, but I don't know. I think it's almost pretty to just leave it like this. I mean, maybe you don't, but I think it's nice. And then I wanted to show the white ribbon through the top here, like this white with silver. It's kind of goes along with our fancy theme. There are several Stampin' Up! Has right now that make things look fancy, but I like this one. And one thing I find to be easier is to just go ahead and tie the bow and then come back and straighten it up and make it neat, like, you know, later. Okay, so there's that. I like to kind of pull it up and back so that the bow doesn't hide too much of this cute little detail right here. That's just something that I do. So, you know, it's kind of up to you on that. So then, at this point, I would add a sentiment and I would add some embellishments. So what I think would be pretty is maybe just a few regular rhinestone bling, just kind of randomly on the layer here. And then if you didn't get as nice a pretty placement here, then it would be really cute to add a poinsettia that you've stamped or that you've cut out. You know, maybe this one from this paper. Remember, I talked about how much I like it and how pretty it is. That would be gorgeous on there. A couple of these little tiny ones, if you cut those out by hand, would be really pretty, kind of scattered around on there as well. Maybe a Happy Holidays, that kind of goes with it. Let's see. There we are. Could do that in the bumblebee or in any one of the ones that kind of have a gold look to them. Let's grab this real quick. And my stamp block. There we go. So I'm kind of leaning towards the bumblebee for this. I think that would look really nice. So let's see if it's legible. That's really kind of the main thing that I look for in it. Yeah, that'll work. In a stamp that it goes ahead and it shows up nicely. So then, Happy Holidays. There we are. I'm just going to go ahead. You could certainly just put it right on there like this, and that would be super cute. And if you had to make a ton of these, honestly, this would be enough. I think people would be plenty happy if you needed to make a ton. But I like to take these points off and turn them into dovetails. So that's just me, but that's what I like. And as long as it looks like it's pretty close to a diamond, when you're cutting, you know, what's in the cut space, that will let you know that you've done a pretty okay job of getting it straight. Now this one I kind of didn't there. Let me take a little more off the bottom. Yeah. So there we are. We've got our Happy Holidays and our little thing, and you could put a to from would be adorable with our little circle that we used earlier, just to add a little more to your friend's little tiny present. So anyway, I appreciate you all watching, and I hope you have a great weekend. Bye-bye.